Shut up and sit down.
Pop Culture Podcast, episode 82. I'm Jay.
I'm Adrian. I'm here for another week of comic books, TV, movies. No music.
No music.
No music.
Really, because I have some music news.
Son of a music.
Right?
And whiskey. We're continuing our whiskey binge with Canadian whiskey.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I mean, the bottle says it's made in Canada.
It is made in Canada. What are we drinking here, bud?
So this is Pendleton Whiskey, and it's their Midnight version, which I think is supposed to be their smoother version. Pendleton's a pretty well-known brand of whiskey. Not many people realize it's Canadian, and I think part of the reason for that is because while it is distilled in Canada, it's actually bottled in Hood River, Oregon.
So they distill it in Canada, they barrel it there, they ship the barrels here, and we bottle it.
Yeah. Don't ask me why.
Okay.
But it is, by all accounts, a Canadian whiskey.
It is a Canadian whiskey. One of the other things I'd been noticing about, because I had tried another Canadian whiskey recently, knowing that it was coming up, lighter in color than bourbons and scotches, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the color, is a lighter,
that's true.
It's a little more translucent.
Yeah. I was going to say, I actually have no clue what the difference between a Canadian and American whiskey is other than where they're distilled. But that's a good point. There's a difference in color.
I also don't think I'm sure they make them. I've never had a Canadian whiskey that was not blended.
No. What?
I'm just wondering if that's going to affect the audio.
I don't know. We'll find out. I don't think so.
All right, cool. Sorry, there's a big fan going because it's really hot here. So now I'm all like, well, that might make the audio a little weird.
Not that the audio's been great lately. But I got a shipping notice.
Oh, snap!
Yeah.
You're getting the editing machine back.
Yeah.
Nice.
Coming back on Saturday. Anyway, so we're going to try this now. Ooh. There's a very sweet profile at the end of that.
Very caramel. Very caramel.
And then it goes into the little bit of a burn once it hits about here. That is real interesting. Now, being that it's Canadian, do you think maybe it's maple instead of caramel? Maybe they add... I don't know.
Well, I know that
I'm making shit up now.
Well, they do make a maple Crown Royale.
Yeah, they make a maple and they do a green apple, which, if you're having, like, I don't know, some sort of mixed drink that'd be good in, I'm sure that works.
Weren't apple martinis really popular for a while? Or what's the green apple drink?
You're thinking apple teenies.
Yeah, there's a specific one. I don't know.
The Washington green apple?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't use whiskey for that.
Yeah, the Washington apple I thought had some Crown in it. That's what made it the Washington apples of the float of Crown.
Oh, I thought it was just a float of some sort of apple liqueur because I had them back before I think they were making the... Because I ordered one of those and got heckled for it when I was in New York in 2010.
As well you should.
Sure, it was just on the menu.
But apple martinis, at least the ones that I remember having were the apple liqueur, some vodka, and then the Washington apple was a flow of Crown Royale.
Okay. I don't know.
Or they called it a caramel apple or something like that.
But yeah, this definitely has a very sweet taste to it.
Very sweet.
Which could get real dangerous if we had a full bottle. So, yay for airplane bottles.
I'm not sure that I love the sweet flavor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this wouldn't be my go-to whiskey, but I think on special occasions or random Wednesday nights.
Sure.
I enjoy it. It's a little bit different. Which I guess that's the whole point of this month is comparing the difference between different whiskeys. So, there you go.
Now, we do have a little mini bottle of Crown. Which is another Canadian. We're going to take a nip off of it because I'm curious if this one is as sweet.
Okay. And that's the regular Crown, right?
This is just traditional weird. Crown. It looks weird because you're used to seeing the glass bottle.
The label looked like a different color.
Yes. Again, though, very light as far as whiskey coloring is concerned. I remember growing up in high school thinking Crown was like, that's the nice stuff. Because it came in the
velvet bag.
Yeah, that's the nice stuff. Very mild. Very
Very mild, but definitely more of the whiskey profile as opposed to this one, which has that sweeter flavor to it. Interesting. Okay.
So far, though, bourbon number 1.
Yeah. Scotch for me, but so far our minds have not been changed from where they were prior to this month.
Correct. Now, next week is going to be the big determining factor.
It is. It's going to be...
Japanese.
Which...
I've never had.
I'm trying to remember if I had it or not. I know there was a bottle passing on work for a while. I don't know that I tried it, but I'm excited because it's definitely a new upcoming market. So
it's all the rage.
Yeah.
And unlike most episodes, I'm only going to have this one because I have to do legal work when this is done. And
I have to go drink when this is done. So
oh yeah, you want to take it easy to start, to finish strong.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Tell me about your TV viewing, or do you want to? Before we do particular TV viewing, should we talk UFC?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. I'm pissed.
Everyone is pissed. There's controversy all over the internet about it.
So this was the big headline on this event's card was the McGregor and
Diaz.
I want to say Aldo. I'm like, that's not right. McGregor-Diaz rematch. Correct. Because Diaz submitted McGregor at 196, 197?
I almost want to say... Yeah, 198, because then 200 got postponed, and now we're 202. Yeah,
okay,
198.
I really was rooting for Diaz in this. I wanted him to go in there and prove that it wasn't a fluke that he beat McGregor and just make McGregor look like an idiot again. McGregor had some aggressive moves towards the beginning of the 5-round bout, but I personally think that overall Diaz controlled the fight. He had more critical strikes. I think he performed better, but when it went to a decision at the end of the 5th round, they went with McGregor.
So, like you mentioned, Diaz had more significant hits. I'm sorry, significant strikes is what they're officially called.
Yeah.
He had more significant strikes. He had more octagon control.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are not just our perception. These are things that professionals are saying. Yep. Yes, he had more significant strikes. Yes, he had more octagon control. Why did McGregor win then?
I don't know, and I'm pissed.
And therein lies controversy. If you talk to people, or if you read about it, which I've talked to one person and read about it a lot of people don't understand how McGregor could have won because he didn't have as many significant strikes. Right. He didn't have as much ring control. He didn't have as many takedowns. He had an impressive bump to start, but he actually didn't have anything after that.
No, he spent 3/4 of the fight running around the ring avoiding Diaz.
So... why did he win? Popularity? Is that a thing?
I'm almost thinking that his popularity is waning, though. He's got the featherweight title.
Yeah.
Right? Am I saying that right?
I believe he's featherweight. He's feather light.
He's featherweight because this was a welterweight fight, which is 2 classes up. So he's got the featherweight title. He's put on weight to go up in class to fight other fighters, so he's not defending that title now.
Correct.
There was a story that came out today or yesterday saying that it's very unlikely that he will go back down.
Which means Aldo will be the new champion.
Right. So, people are pissed about that. They're like, if you have a title, you should defend your title.
Right.
Give the next person in line the shot to do it. He's arrogant, so I think people are starting to get tired of that. It was a cool gimmick for a while, but it's too much now.
But he is now Brock Lesnar in the last one was the highest paid fighter ever.
Right.
Now McGregor is the highest paid fighter ever.
Sure.
So if he continues to be the highest paid ever, it would make it in UFC's sense to continue to headline him, make him be the winner. Like, I don't know.
Until the fans stop caring, though.
Sure.
Like, obviously, we were in a bar where there was people that were rooting for McGregor.
Yeah, but those guys were all douchebags.
That's what I'm saying. Eventually, the appeal will be lost even on them, and McGregor will fall out of favor, and they'll have to come up with somebody else. And I think...
it was at one table rooting for McGregor. Everyone else was rooting for Diaz.
Yeah.
But the question is, I don't know is judging... I know it's supposed to be impartial, and I know Nevada Gaming Commission oversees rules. Are the judges independently operated, or do they work for UFC? I don't know. Could there be a little something on the back end?
Like, regardless of who they work for, could there be something on the back end?
Of course. Yeah. Look, if you paid me, I would... You pay me $100, and I'd be like, yeah, McGregor won that fight.
But I mean, even the scores they said at the end of the round, 2 of the judges were 29-27. I'm getting these wrong.
One was
tied.
One was tied.
The other 2 were at least 2 points up on McGregor.
Correct.
I don't know if they saw something in that fight that nobody else watching saw, but that it just drives me crazy.
Continuing the UFC news, we mentioned Brock Lesnar a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's currently suspended only by the Nevada Gaming Commission because he tested positive in 2 tests.
Yep.
For anti-estrogen and a couple other things.
Yes.
But that just means he can't currently fight in Nevada.
Anywhere else is fine.
Well, their next couple big events are in New York.
Right.
So, big deal.
Yeah.
Speaking of New York, there was an event there Sunday. Because UFC was Saturday.
Yes.
Sunday, SummerSlam.
Which I totally didn't even realize was happening, but...
Which had a 2-hour-long pre-show and then a 4-hour-long main card. Luckily, you can fast forward anything you want if you don't watch it live.
True.
So I watched a couple things. The only reason I'm bringing this up is 2 reasons. One, Brock Lesnar was in it.
Uh-huh.
And his popularity in the WWE is starting to wane as well.
Sure.
People are just kind of getting over him being a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
The other reason is my particular favorite wrestler is a gentleman by the name of Finn Balor. Call him the Demon King.
Okay.
Is his nickname. He came up from the minor leagues.
Sure.
Here's why this, to me, I want to tell anybody I can, just because this needs to be heard. It was about a half-hour-long match.
Oh, wow.
About 4 minutes into it, you see him get thrown against the barrier outside of the ring, kind of move his arm around, pull down, wince, and get back in the ring. Everyone thought it was just, showmanship. Because that's what you do. You're showmanship. And
right.
He actually had a dislocated shoulder.
Oh.
He put back into place.
Oh.
He's out for 9 months because he had to have corrective surgery on that shoulder.
Oh, that's brutal.
He continued then for 23 minutes constantly using that shoulder. Like, are you fucking kidding me with this? And I know there are times where people have surgery and it's part of the act and part of the stage. No, this legitimately was real. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine that? I get sore from walking up 3 flights of stairs.
Yeah, I did 20 minutes of weightlifting yesterday and I'm in agony today.
Tearing a muscle in your shoulder, dislocating it, putting it back in and continuing using it for another 23 minutes.
It's a tough guy. It's a real tough guy.
God damn. Any other TV you've been watching?
I got my normals. Girl Meets World, Homeland. We watched some more Family Guy. And then we started Stranger Things.
Oh, did you start Stranger Things?
We did. We're halfway through now.
Tell me about it. Super curious.
So you have not started it?
I have not started it.
You have plans on starting it?
Okay. Maybe.
Sure.
Everyone keeps saying how great it is, but I've been real busy.
It is. Do you like 80s horror movies?
Everyone keeps saying if you like The Goonies, you'll love this.
No, fuck The Goonies.
Good.
The Goonies isn't even a good movie.
Thank you. Okay. Of course I love 80s horror movies. We're talking the original Friday the 13th, original Nightmare on Elm Street, Candyman, all that stuff. Of course.
So then this is and like you said, you've heard this, it's very much up that vein.
Right.
It's definitely set in the 80s. The costume work's really done really well. To the point where I'm I really feel like I'm just watching old TV.
Interesting.
And I feel bad for these actors that have to walk around with their hair cut like that and whatever. But no, super interesting. There's a monster in it, and you're not really sure the origins of the monster, but it's doing some weird things. The mom, so a kid goes missing in the first episode. The mom's going batshit crazy.
Okay.
And then she's got another son that's trying to help find the kid and trying to keep the mom sane. And then all the kid's little friends are trying to find him too. And there's all these it's really good. It's only 8 episodes. They're already saying there's going to be a season 2.
Of course.
Probably with a different storyline. I'm guessing it's going to go kind of like American Horror Story, where each season is a different story. But
Okay.
no, I'm really enjoying it. Jessica was actually the one that really wanted to watch it, so I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll throw it on.
It's getting great buzz.
Yeah. We put the first episode on at like 10:30 the first night, so I slept through half of it. So I had to have her catch me up, but then we watched 3 more episodes yesterday. It's real good.
Wow. Okay. And like everyone keeps saying how great it is, and it's really good. And you should give it a shot. And it's not that I don't have an interest. I've just been so busy.
Yep.
Like as you'll hear when I talk about the movies and TV I watched, it's just not there.
Right.
I just don't have that time.
Yeah. And I started my classes last week.
Sure.
So I'm pretty much gonna be at that point. This first week was a little slower, but pretty soon I'm going to be really busy. I'm like, yeah, I watched a YouTube video this week.
Sure. Well, all right. So Stranger Things.
Yep. And that's all I got for TV.
So you mentioned 80s TV. I'm actually rewatching.
Alf.
What pisses me off is he never got that cat. And he's right. It looked delicious. Who doesn't like to eat pussy? You know what I mean? Like, Alf was just the original ladies' man.
There we go.
He's just putting it out there. And that's why we still don't get explicit on iTunes. So blows my mind.
I really think maybe I'm supposed to self-disclose that, but at this point, 82 episodes in, does it matter?
Right? Look at you. If you've gone this far with us, you know what you're getting into.
That's right.
And if you just joined us, hi, welcome.
Welcome to NPR. Yeah. This is...
Oh my, I think I could do this for the rest of the episode. So I have currently been watching a televised broadcast program known as The Goldbergs. So essentially, again, I need background noise. I've been working on a lot of legal projects. I've been building a new store. I've been doing all these things. So it's background noise for me. So it's just been The Goldbergs. It's just been South Park. And it's just been on in the background. I've been doing stuff. I haven't been watching any TV.
Okay.
However, I did have a listener correct us on something.
Uh-oh.
And by correct us, I mean correct you, because I said I didn't know, and I am throwing you under the proverbial bus.
Sure, why not? What did I get wrong?
My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend has been renewed for season 2, not canceled.
I swore I heard that got canceled.
And in fact, the lead won an Emmy.
Well, that means nothing. Parks and Rec got nominated for Emmys after it was canceled.
And it was the greatest show ever.
Still have never seen an episode. Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, fine, whatever. I did think of one more TV thing I watched that while you were talking.
Was it the Colonel Sanders commercial?
No, but that was actually really good. Superstore did an Olympics special.
We actually saw that, yeah.
I thought it was quite entertaining.
It was.
I'm scared for season 2 of that show, though, based on that alone.
Here's the thing that threw me for that, though. Totally out of continuity. Because when season 1 ended, she had the baby. She was pregnant in the Olympics special. Somebody had quit who was back in. So,
yeah.
Obviously not in continuum.
Right.
If it as a standalone, I thought it was pretty funny.
I thought it was funny, but yeah, it makes me really think, like, how long are they going to be able to keep telling stories about people working at that store?
I think they can keep that going for a little while, man.
And they can keep it going, but can they keep it going well?
Was the first season great?
I thought there was a lot of really good moments in the first season.
There was a lot of good moments, but overall it was all right.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, Jess and I were watching that in bed. She loves that show. I was doing some research for work.
My wife told me she needed
to browsing for a new hat.
Take a break from some talent shows. So I was flipping through what else was in our queue, and that showed up. So I'm like, hey, let's watch this.
There you go. There's also American Ninja Warriors back. I need to watch that new
So
one.
I took it off my list.
Yeah?
Only because we were so behind that shows were starting to disappear from Hulu. And I'm like, at that point, I just don't care enough.
So we're talking about TV and what we've watched. I want to talk about what I haven't watched because it has been just on my Hulu queue and it's just glaring at me. And I don't know if you've recognized or seen that this is now on Hulu, The Bastard Executioner.
No, I did not realize that was on Hulu.
It is now on Hulu. All episodes. All episodes, baby.
Damn it.
Right? You want to just turn this off and binge right now?
So here's what I wish. I wish that it was on Amazon Prime.
Why?
Because Amazon Prime lets you download your shows. And I'm going to have a flight coming up in 2 weeks, maybe not. And that's what I'm doing during the flight is I'm taking just a bunch of stuff I have on Prime and downloading it to my tablet.
Or SD card torrents, like... Don't forget who you are at your roots.
My SD card's getting pretty full. And the problem with my tablet, too, is I have it rooted so that the SD card is the primary.
No! So you can't unmount it and put something else in?
Right. So I've got that going for me.
All right, I got you. I got you covered. You have a Samsung tablet, right?
Yes.
I have a dongle. I have a dongle that you can plug in and attach a USB drive to it, and it'll read everything off the USB drive.
Yeah, it's not a terrible idea.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
That's true.
All right.
Maybe I'll do that. Anyways, all right, so you've not watched that yet, but you want to.
Oh, my God, so badly. So badly.
I'm almost okay with the fact that I haven't seen it yet, though.
Look, I know
because I think it's going to let me down.
Of course it's going to let you down. It's supposed to be horrible.
Yeah.
I still want to watch it, though.
I know.
Like, how do you not want to watch that? It's Kurt Sutter doing medieval shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And he pulled the plug on it himself, too, so that's not... All right.
Hopefully to make that Mayans. He's not making the Mayans show.
They keep... Every couple weeks, they keep bringing up news stories about it. I'm like, it's never going to happen.
Goddamn lie.
It's like Scalped, the TV show. That shit's never going to premiere.
No, please.
Fucking WGN America. Anyways, do you have anything else TV-wise?
I don't have anything else TV-wise. Do you have anything movie-wise?
I watched a movie.
What was this movie called?
And I told you a little bit about this movie before the UFC fight. But,
okay. For those of you who weren't at the UFC fight with us.
Why the fuck not? Why can we not do like a UFC meetup? Right?
Oh, we should. Or we should just live stream us watching UFC. Which I don't know would that be entertaining for you guys. Jay and I are pretty quiet during the UFC fight.
That's true. That's true. But you would see the table in front of us who cheered for one guy at the beginning of the fight, and then when he got knocked out, cheered for another guy.
Yes, go ahead. Your movie.
All right, so I watched a movie called Home Sweet Hell.
Yeah, you did.
And it had Katherine Heigl, and I can never remember the actor's name. He's very recognizable. If you see him, you'll know who he is. I can't think of the name of it, though. You looked it up, too. I don't remember.
Yeah, he's the dude from, oh, God.
Everything. Yeah.
He's in The Insidious. He's in also, oh, God, it's going to bother me. As I'm saying this, I know Graydon is looking at me because Graydon loves this guy. He's in Insidious. He's on the Last Exorcism. Shit, I can't remember his name now.
All right, well, we're not even going to bother to look it up. I just want that to sit with you.
I don't have a phone with me, so I can't.
I have my phone, but I don't feel like pulling it up. So, and then it's also got... fuck, now I'm forgetting the other girl's name. She was Fast and Furious, the one Paul Walker married in the movies.
Man, you're acting like I know her name from the beginning. I don't know who her name. I just know her as the chick Paul Walker married.
Yeah. Anyways.
Good research she did on this one.
I know,
good
right?
Good notes.
Anyways, so Katherine Heigl's the wife. The guy whose name we can't remember is the husband. She is super, super type A OCD about everything. Everything has to be perfect. It's all about image. Right. And she gets that from her parents, I guess. So he's going through all this stress. Jordana Brewster.
There it is.
Of trying to live up to her expectations while running this furniture store. And she's got everything detailed. She's got like this goals book, and she's got everything detailed down to like, oh, we're going to have sex Thursday the 12th at 7. Like, it's all scheduled out. Drives him crazy. So he needs to hire someone new at the store. Jordana Brewster comes in and applies, and he hires her just because she's an attractive woman. As far as the movie's concerned.
All right.
Okay. They end up having an affair. She's like, hey, guess what? Now I'm pregnant. I need money to take care of this. Ends up being this whole blackmail scheme, but he ends up telling his wife, who says, well, our only option is to kill her.
Rookie mistake. Good on the wife. You never tell the wife about the mistress, baby. Never.
Well, so he offered to bribe her.
No, that's also a mistake.
Him and his buddy came up with... his buddy played by Jim Belushi, by the way.
Oh, sure.
Were able to scrape together $13,000 to try to pay her off.
No, come on, man.
She came back and said, I need 25. So at that point, he's like, well, now my wife's going to find out. I'm just going to tell her. So the wife's like, you got to kill her.
Yeah, obviously.
So then it's just all this situational comedy about them going to kill her, and she doesn't die.
Situational comedy.
Well, because, I mean, that's...
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I know.
It's not a sitcom TV show, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
The first attempt fails, so they have to bash her head in with a hammer and all this stuff, and they end up killing all these other people. And then towards the end of the movie, the husband's finally like, look, your parents fucked you up somehow. And if you want to talk about it, just say something. The wife breaks down crying, and then she's like, if you ever try to bring that up again, I will kill you. And you know I'm not kidding, because you've seen what I've just done.
Sure.
So I'm going to just spoil the end. He ends up blowing her up in the garage. He short circuits the overhead light to spark.
Okay.
Opens up a couple propane tanks. Asks her to go in and get something. So when she goes and flips on the light, the entire garage explodes.
Which does he kill, the pregnant or his wife?
His wife.
Kills the wife.
They'd ended up killing the mistress throughout the shenanigans.
It sounds hilarious.
I got 2 DVDs left on my queue, and then I'm done.
Oh.
That just happened to be...
That just happened to be one of them? All right, man. Like, more power to you.
All right. Movies for you? Anything?
No movies for me, too. No. All right. I feel bad.
Before we get into comics, I'm going to talk music. So I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this a few times on the show, and I know you and I have had this conversation. I've been an advocate of Samsung Milk Music.
Yes, but...
They're canceling the service as of next month.
Yeah.
Samsung came out and said that they're going to fold the service. They haven't said specifically why, but all the speculation is just that there hasn't been enough interest in it. They never opened it up outside of the U.S. either.
Oh, interesting.
So you had to be in the U.S. to use the service.
I think you had to have a Samsung account. Even though it was free, you needed to have a Samsung account to use it.
You had to have a Samsung account, but you didn't have to have a Samsung phone.
No.
So you could actually go onto the Samsung website
and
use it that way, but you did have to make an account. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I talked about it on the show. It was great as far as really fine-tuning your stations. You go country... And you can go party country, and you can go new party country, and like you just had all these fine-tuning elements to it. But it was powered by Slacker Radio,
which is what they're just going to switch over to entirely.
So they are suggesting people that liked what they had on Milk Music just go sign up for Slacker, and if you were a Milk Music subscriber, you get a free month of Slacker. But the industry speculation is that Samsung is just going to partner with other streaming services now. So you might be able to get a Spotify discount or a Pandora discount or something like that for being a Samsung user.
And it makes no sense to me because I get Milk, but Pandora does the same thing. Spotify does the same thing. Amazon Music does the same thing. Slacker does the same thing.
Right.
And who is still using Slacker?
Only people that were using it through Milk Music.
Like, who chose Slacker over Pandora in that feud? You know what I mean? It is Pepsi and Coke. When will we all agree? Coke won. Just give it up, Pepsi.
I mean, I think they probably just got better rates for piggybacking on Slacker than anything else.
Maybe.
And because nobody was using Slacker.
Right.
One other music thing, though. Speaking of Amazon, now there's talk that Amazon is going to launch their own Spotify rival.
Yes.
For $5 a month.
Yeah, that's right.
But exclusively through the Echo.
No.
Yeah.
I did not hear it was Echo exclusive.
So right now, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you get access to their Prime Music catalog.
Yes.
So you can do radio streaming, and you can do a bunch of like on-demand stuff like Spotify. But the Echo has not taken off the way they hoped.
Surprise.
Right? So they are trying to attract more interest in the Echo line by having exclusive streaming service on the Echo,
not gonna happen.
Which would be the Echo, the Dot, and the Tap.
It's not going to be enough.
Family now. No.
Here's the problem, right? The Echo is $199.
Yep.
I have a Bluetooth speaker I got from Dell with my laptop for free.
Right.
It's connected to my phone via Bluetooth.
So if you say, "Okay, Google," you get all the same shit through that cheap speaker.
Sure do, and it's a really good speaker too.
Yeah.
And the audio quality, like what it can hear me say, I can be 10 feet away from it, and as long as there's not interfering noise, it still it picks me up well enough for me to say, "Okay, Google." So what the fuck am I buying the Echo for?
Right. And so my wife said she really wanted to get the Dot, I think it is, which is the smaller version.
Sure.
You have to have the Echo for the Dot to work.
Shut up.
It's a system.
God damn it.
So it's a relay system. So
Nope.
it's just you have your central hub in one room, and then you can have other ones in other rooms. That's all it is.
No.
So yeah, sure, it's only $50 or whatever, but you still got to pay the original $200 for the Echo.
Can't you get a Google Chromecast audio for $25 and it does the same thing?
Absolutely.
Then fuck yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so that was my music news. What'd you get for comics over there?
Oh my god, it is a hefty stack.
And no trades.
I did have a trade. It's just not here with me.
Okay.
It's the Omega Men. The full trade is out.
Sure.
Because it's Kyle Rayner based, and I can't not have me Kyle Rayner. So I
say that, but I got some on my list that I can't not buy.
Batman Detective Comics 939.
Okay.
Blue Beetle Rebirth #1. Deathstroke #1. The Flash #5. Hal Jordan the Green Lantern Corps #3, which kind of looks like Kyle Rayner and Hal Jordan mixed together on the cover.
A little bit.
The Hellblazer #1. Action Comics 962. Teen Titans 23. Titans 2. International Iron Man 6. Archie #11. Futurama 80. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero 231. Lake of Fire #1. Lucifer #9. And Rick and Morty Little Poopy Superstar #2.
Okay.
We made some faces at a couple things, like Lake of Fire.
Well, it just makes me think of the Nirvana cover of the Meat Puppet song.
Do you know what Lake of Fire is about?
No. I see its image, so...
Lake of Fire's image, written by Nathan Fairbairn. And what happens is we're talking medieval Crusades time.
Okay.
And there are a bunch of Crusaders. And what happens? Aliens crash land. Get some alien technology and shit in the Crusades.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Like, you won me with Crusades and alien invasion.
All right.
I'm in.
Let me ask this. Did you read Blue Beetle?
I have not.
Okay.
Did you?
I didn't even buy it. But I read reviews saying that this was the closest to a perfect book that DC has put out since the beginning of New 52.
That is such horseshit.
I know.
That's called Superman #1, motherfuckers. Amazing book.
Okay. So I got 7 books this week. I got, let me see if I can read my own handwriting. Archie #11, Detective #939, Titans #2, Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps #3, Flash #5, Batgirl #2, and Extraordinary X-Men 13.
Oh, wow. Extraordinary. Still going on with that one, eh?
Yeah, I'm still so far behind on that one, though. I'm missing, like, issue 7, so I've got, like, a 5-issue backlog.
You can take mine with you, because I quit that book.
Anyways, what do you got that you want to talk about?
I want to touch on a couple things real fast. One, International Iron Man #6.
Okay.
They have announced that Riri Williams will be the new Iron Man. They finally have announced her name.
Yes, Ironheart.
Yep, that's all. Stupid. Moving on.
Thank you.
Did you read Batman Detective Comics 939?
No, I bought it. I didn't read it yet.
Son of a... Really want to talk to you about that.
I mean, you can talk to me. I just won't have much to say
That's
about
not
it.
the same. Very, very Tim heavy, which I love.
Okay.
Love Tim Drake. I like... so essentially in this, he has announced to Stephanie, spoiler, his girlfriend. Not spoilers and spoiler news, as in that is her name, spoiler.
I was trying to explain spoiler to somebody earlier today, and I'm like, spoiler? No, like, that's her name.
I'm not spoiling the book. I spoiler on spoiler? Like, I don't know what you say.
Yeah.
He was explaining to his girlfriend, Stephanie, a.k.a. Spoiler, that he's going to quit being Robin.
What?
He has... So he's made the new Batcave called the Belfry.
Right.
And apparently, so all the windows got destroyed and it pretty much got ruined, the exterior, because they got attacked by the Bat Colony.
I'm sorry, the what?
The Bat Colony. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Have you not been reading the book?
I'm missing 937, so I'm 3 issues behind.
The soldiers that look like Batman, kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Calling them the Bat Colony.
Okay, sure.
And they like destroyed all the windows, and they're like, "Well, we got a lot of repairs to do." He goes, "Nope. There's 9 extra window or however many extra panels that will just come out when it gets destroyed." I knew this would happen.
Oh, geez.
And I made industrial size like Roombas that are huge that are going to clean up the mess. So don't even worry about it. It's all handled. So essentially, he's like, I feel like I could be doing so much for the world, as Tim Drake, as opposed to so much for Gotham as Robin.
Okay.
Taking this other places. So he's explained to Stephanie that once this has all been resolved, he's leaving. And then the very end of the issue, Tim is now in a life or death situation where things look like they very well go awry.
Okay.
Obviously, I doubt that they will, but I do appreciate that it's very Tim heavy because he is my favorite Robin.
Sure.
Dick Grayson is my favorite coming from the Robins, but as Robin themselves, Tim was always my favorite.
Okay.
So I'm enjoying Detective much more than I'm enjoying Batman, and I'm enjoying it more than All-Star Batman.
Yeah, I would agree. Sorry, I'm just thinking I read Batman this week, and I read last week's Batman, and it's bad.
There you go. The other book I read was Action Comics 962.
Okay.
So that we're all caught up to speed, the pre-Flashpoint Superman is back to being Superman, but all the other heroes are New 52. So he's one of the only ones from the old universe who has all of his memories from the old universe.
Okay.
So he knows everything. He remembers dying. He remembers everything else.
Okay.
Doomsday shows up. And he's like, well, I got to get Lois and my son out of here because Doomsday's probably going to kill me. So he goes through all that. Lex Luthor's also calling himself Superman in this world. They fight. He traps Doomsday in the Phantom Zone.
Okay.
Problem solved. But we find out someone's been watching Superman. And as you guys know, the way the Phantom Zone works is this projector. It shoots you with a beam. And it's kind of... It's like Star Trek, like the little thing, like the transporter in Star Trek. It transported you to the Phantom Zone.
Right.
Just transports you somewhere else. This guy's been watching the fight, actually intercepted the transmission, and now has Doomsday captive, and will be using him for future things.
Okay.
Overall,
I don't really see Doomsday being anybody's bitch, but...
Well, no, he's currently, held captive.
Okay.
Not by choice.
Okay.
He's using him kind of like a battery, if you will.
Okay.
Currently.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking hey,
Doomsday, let's negotiate some shit.
Or hey, you report to me now. Just deal with it.
No, okay. Nothing like that. Out of all the Rebirth books, I would say, and I actually have a couple other people who agree with me on this because we talked about it recently, Action Comics and Superman, hands down, have been the best out of all the Rebirth lines.
Well, let me know once you've read Blue Beetle, because apparently it's supposed to be amazing.
Yeah, that's what they say. From what I hear, it's just fine.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So the one I want to talk about is Batgirl number 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we talked about
please refer to it as its full title, Batgirl number 2, Beyond Burnside.
Well, that's the story arc.
It's just more fun for me to say that obnoxiously.
So we've talked about in Rebirth number 1 and regular number 1, Batgirl has now left Burnside. She's out exploring.
Correct.
We saw a little bit of that with the Nightwing thing where they were meeting up in Hong Kong, Beijing, somewhere in Asia. I don't remember where they were supposed to meet.
Racist, but yeah, somewhere over in the Orient.
Right. So in this issue, she's in Singapore.
Okay.
Which, refresh my memory, have you been to Singapore?
No, obviously.
Why is it obviously? I've been to Singapore.
I've never left the North America.
Oh, okay. I was not aware.
Yeah, no.
I thought maybe you had done some world traveling in your time.
Mexico, Canada,
okay.
Phantom Zone. That is the extent of my travels.
So, let me tell you a little bit about Singapore.
Great street noodles.
Fucking amazing. They even make reference to the hawker centers in here, which I'm like, oh, God, I love the hawker centers.
Okay.
So Singapore is a very much conglomerate country.
Okay.
In that there is 4 main people groups there. There's the Chinese, there's the Thai, there's the Malaysians, and there's the one other one that I can't think. I think Indian. Anyways, yeah. So those are the 4 main people groups. They all have separate languages, but all of them have the common tongue of English.
Okay.
Because Singapore is also a very big business hub.
Yes.
There's a lot of technology companies there. Aerospace is big there with Singapore Airlines.
Half of everything in your phone comes from Singapore.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
So they all speak English, as well as whatever their native tongue is. So when you're reading a comic book and they're speaking a different language, what typically do you see?
You see English with a little translation, like a little asterisk translated from.
Right. So the way they did it in this one, the letterer did it a little differently. They just colored the English or the non-English text red, and then made a couple very generic Asian-style symbols underneath to let you know that it was translated from another language.
Okay.
So this is like page 1, page 2 of this. Batgirl or Barbara Gordon is at some place that turns out to be an MMA gym, and she's looking to get signed on as a fighter.
Okay.
So she's up at the receptionist, and they're speaking non-English. And my first thought is, fuck you. You've never been to Singapore.
Well,
because any business in Singapore works in English.
I feel like that is a minor transgression because I would have had no idea. And as a writer, I'm sure they are not from Singapore, nor have they been.
But to me, that's the same thing as if you're reading a comic based in Seattle and you see the Space Needle and Questfield next to each other in the panel.
Yeah, but how often does that kind of stuff happen?
I've seen it happen.
That's what I'm saying.
Not Questfield, but I'm saying as somebody who's from this area, you would probably appreciate someone who did more research before basing it in an actual place.
Sure.
Like, if you say this is in Madripoor, fuck, I don't care, it's not a real place. But if you're saying it's actually in Singapore, do some research about how shit's done there before you assume that nobody's going to speak English just because it's not America or Britain. So that was my first problem with it. Second problem with it is she just walks right into a gym and gets signed up to be sponsored as a professional MMA
Well,
fighter.
I mean, yeah, look at her. Why wouldn't you hire a scrawny little redheaded American girl, instantly on the spot?
Yeah.
Surprised she doesn't have a Nike swoosh on her back.
Right? And then there's a scene where she is chasing down somebody who she found online, something like that. I don't remember what the story was, but she finds this guy's hideout and she breaks in, and she finds out it's not really a supervillain, it's just a guy who's taking voyeuristic pictures.
Sounds to me like a hero.
So on the screen you see pictures of her as Barbara Gordon, but there's implication that the person knows that she's Batgirl.
No clue, though, I'm guessing? Or
well, I'm like, this guy knows your secret identity now, and you're not more worried than, oh, it's just the guy taking pictures, and then you fly off. Like, that was the whole scene. And I'm
really? Like,
yeah.
She didn't even bother to try to...
No.
Oh.
So I'm like, you're totally cool with people having pictures of you without your mask on now. So, there's a lot of problems in this book. Those are a couple of the main ones. I'm kind of okay with the way that the story's being written, in that it's kind of being written like it's definitely geared towards female readers.
Sure.
But me being somebody who watches things like Girl Meets World and Pretty Little Liars, I'm like,
yourself as a female reader?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm cool with that storyline, but I'm not cool with all of the very glaring issues in the plot and the writing and that sort of thing. But
this is Hope Larson writing it, correct?
Shh. That sounds
right.
I
believe it's Hope Larson. Yeah. I can't recall anything else I've ever seen her name in.
No.
With the exception of Scott Pilgrim.
Right.
Because Scott Pilgrim was dedicated to her, because that at the time that Brian Lee O'Malley wrote it, they were married.
Okay.
That's the only other place I've ever seen her name.
Okay. And, I mean, she may have done other things. She may have been more on the manga side of things. I don't know. I do know that... the guy doing the colors, whose name I can't remember now, I've seen him in other things, but he's doing a really good job on the colors, so the art looks amazing.
Well, Albuquerque's doing the art, correct?
Albuquerque's doing the art. Dave McCraig is doing the colors. He's a veteran of the industry. He's done a lot of really good things. He's making the art look really good on top of Albuquerque's art. But the last page was done by somebody different, and it was weird.
Interesting.
Like, art in general, it turned into a lot more weird cartoony. But I'm gonna keep reading because I'm addicted to Batgirl. But
right, and who knows? Maybe we've had the same discussion with Green Lanterns after that first arc. Maybe things improve.
I hope so.
Maybe you lose Larson. Maybe who knows?
I am so afraid to read Hal Jordan this week that
2 wasn't bad. I was surprisingly pleased with number 2. Were you not?
I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, it's better than I thought it'd be.
Yeah. Okay.
That is it for me for this episode.
That's all I've got.
See you guys next week.
See you.